Greetings, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Today is the day that Mercury rules, and Mercury is currently in Capricorn. Hey, Vic Thomas. Look at that. I love that. Life is so hilarious. It's so interesting. Sometimes, and I'm not going to divert too much because I don't have a lot of time, but sometimes you meet people in your life, and even though you don't see them again, they're just with you all the time. Like you just never forget them. And it's so interesting because I have that with you, Vic. Like I feel like I still know you, even though I'm not seeing you in years. It's very interesting. Yeah. So Mercury is in Capricorn today, and today is a Mercury day, and Mercury is the planet that governs our mind. It's how we think. And Mercury is one of the rulers of this nodal placement where we're having the nodes in Virgo. So let me try to make this make sense. I saw a meme yesterday, and they did a meme of what astrologers sound like to other people, and I was like, oh God, this is horrible, because I need to make it plain. So the moon is in Scorpio, and this means that we're in our shadow. The energy is very intense. Pay attention to your life. Pay attention to what's going on in your life. Like, pay attention to your finances. Pay attention to how you feel with people. Are people triggering you? Like, this is what the astrology is. The astrology is this really intense squeeze that is forcing people into pressure. It's pressure. It feels like I want to get free. I can't take it. And the thing to do is to not be reactive. That's the hard part, to not be reactive, but to be witnessing yourself. So how do I do that? I will narrate stories, what is happening. I will narrate defined awareness, exactly, through defined awareness. I will narrate a story. I am feeling this. Why am I feeling this? I am thinking this. Why am I thinking this? What do these thoughts mean? This is how I become conscious of what it is that's going on inside of me. I will stop and breathe and just notice. And here's the other thing. If you want to really, really get some double power out of a day like today, whatever the worst story is in your life, whatever the most challenging is, let's say it that way, like, somebody's done something to you. And instead of saying say I did this to myself, because the moon is in Scorpio, and Scorpio is the shadow, which means that people are often in experiences that they will project onto other people. And I'm saying, don't project it. Call your own name. Say, I did this. I created this. Or why did I create this? Say, why would I create this? Why would I need this? Why would this be happening in my life? With sincerity, not with like, oh, these motherfuckers get on my nerves and why are they doing that? No, with like, no, this is here. Why is it here? Why is it here? One of the things that has changed my life around money is whenever my money feels like it's tight or I don't have enough of it or something like that, I ask myself, why would I create me not having enough money? Why would I create money being a thing for me? And every time the voice inside of me says, because you're distracted when you have money. You're totally distracted when you have money. And when you don't have money, you actually are paying attention. You're actually more present. But the minute you have money, your mind is off to the races and what you can do and what needs this and you stop paying. And so if you ask yourself sincere questions about what you're experiencing, you will begin to get the power back from it, because you'll see that it's not just happening to you. Oh, I don't have enough money. No, it's happening for a reason. Okay. That is how I felt at the beginning of 2020. I was feeling that I needed to get out of this office. I don't want to be here. I regulated my system. 2020 was the best. I quantum jumped out of that life. That's right. Sorry to distract. I feel absolutely the same about you. Sending you love and positive intentions. Thank you so much, Vic. Thank you. I love that. We'll meet again one day, I'm sure. And Vic and I have known, like, we met when we were 17. You know what I mean? Like 17 or 18 years old. Like, and I'm 56 now, and we still feel connected. That's how potent the connection was. So today is a day for really, and here's the thing, when the moon is in Scorpio, it's really powerful to explore your sexual connections. So deep. Because some, like, not to have TMI, but Vic and I were like, we hung out, let's say it that way, when we were young. And the connection is still there because the people that you are intimate with, emotionally, mentally, physically, sexually, those energies don't just go away. And so it's important to understand, though, like, we have such a perverted understanding of our sexuality. We don't get that we live in a world that's very dark around our sexual central nature, and we don't understand what it really is. Anybody I know that I've ever had a sexual experience with, it was because it was necessary, it was needed. But now that I understand astrology, I get why. Because we're here collecting information and data. And all the shaming that we do around sex and is so that we shut down our ability to connect deeply to ourselves and experience the levels of oneness that are available. Yeah, it's just a very interesting thing what we've done with sex. And the moon is in Scorpio. So, this is also a really good day because this South Node work is about integrating and healing and getting the value. So it's like, today would be a good day to go through your old relationships and see what you learned from them. Or if you didn't take any value from it. I feel like most people today just get pissed off and hurt because they didn't get their way. They're not looking at the deeper meanings of an experience, right? Like, so it's like if you're in a relationship, some of my most painful relationships have been the most revealing about who I am and the most teaching about what relationship, what love isn't, what romance isn't, what sex really is. Like, I have learned so much about myself in painful relationships that I have deep gratitude for them. And what I have, the most profound relationship, the most profound thing that I have learned about my relationships is how the external focus is depleting. It's an illusion. And sex is truly an exchange of energy. It really doesn't have anything to do with romance. It doesn't have anything to do with all the things that we say that it does. It's truly like going to the gas station and putting gas in your car. For women, men are the gas pump. They're going to give you their energy and their life force. And women, when we understand that, it fuels us and it allows us to create reality. That is truly what sex is. And it allows us to regenerate reality by reproducing other human beings. It feels good Generally. Generally, it feels good. But that's because nature had to give you something to make you want to do it so that you'll reproduce reality. That's just the basics of it. Now, all the other stuff that we put on it is story. It's story. It's because we said so. It's not really fact. It's just because we said so. All the emotions are attached to the feelings of it. It feels good. Sex feels good. And because it feels good, we attach a lot of story to it and behaviors and things that are false. But it just feels good. That's all. It just feels good. And men are on a 24-hour cycle, so they need it more. Like biologically, men need to have sex to survive. They do. It's like the more they can have sex and reproduce themselves and get their energy out there living in a vessel, in a vehicle that could reproduce them, the greater their sense of survival. That's all. That's all. Women can actually do parthenogenesis and recreate themselves without men. Like women can create themselves without sex. We just don't do that because we now have sex to do it. So it's really, it's very interesting. We've been, the world now is like in a Petri experiment desk. Who we are at this time is literally, somebody thousands of years ago said, let's experiment if we condition humans to believe this and this and this and this about them, that they are limited, that they are, structured according to race and gender, that they have to get their food from grocery stores. Our culture, we have been engineered, okay? And because we've been engineered, we don't know who we are. We have a false idea of who we truly are. And we are so confined and restricted through engineering. Like we just have been given ideas and notions about who we are that aren't true. Like, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a governor, I'm a cook, we are infinite beings. We are infinite. We are infinite, y'all. Like the limitations, and we believe it, and so we force ourselves into it, and then over time you get sick and you get diseases because you're forcing your energy. It's like a giraffe forcing its energy into an ant and saying, I'm gonna be an ant. And the giraffe is supposed to function this way, but it's now trying to function as an ant. And so it just begins to kill you over time. It just begins to kill you. And that's what we've all been doing. We've been forcing ourselves into ways of being, and the universe just won't have it anymore. The universe it's like you've got to unfold yourself. You've got to unfold your identity, who you really are. And this nodal class is helping us do it. So the Virgo South Node is asking us to be critical and look at things as they are. Look and see things as they really are practically. What is happening? If you have a health challenge, look at that health challenge and say, what did I do to create this health challenge? What are the actions that I took that created this health challenge? If you have romantic challenges, relationship challenge, any challenges, ask yourself, what is it that I have done to create? This is the class right here. This is the class. You don't have to do anything to sign up. I'm going to be here pretty much every day talking about it. But if you want to get the tools, you can send me a private message and I'll send you the Amazon list of the tools. And if you want to book a reading with me so I can help you really understand how you follow along the class, you can go to healwithmoonmama.com and book a reading with me, and we can have a private conversation and I can tell you how the class is working out. But the class is at no cost. It's at no cost because this is such important work. It doesn't feel good for me to gatekeep it. It's ridiculous to gatekeep work that benefits. If everybody gets it, we all win. If everybody gets it, we all win. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. And so people are talking about community and if we all work together. if people, like, I just was like, let me offer something at no cost that's valuable, that can actually help people change their lives. And that's what I'm doing, because I'm going to walk my talk. I'm going to offer something that is really valuable. So if you want to, you can just follow along. If you listen every day, you're going to catch on. If you listen every day, you're going to catch on. Literally, it's the kind of thing that if you pay attention, you're going to start to get it. And you're going to be like, okay, we're going to be here for 18 months. This class is 18 months. We are in the first 2 weeks of it. All right. So, but if you want to get it really, because everybody has their own blueprint. Everyone has their own blueprint. So if you want to understand this class according to your blueprint, then come and book a reading with me. It won't be as general, but if you just follow the general work, if you today do what I said to do today, call your own name, ask yourself these deeper questions. What's going on in my life? How did I create it this way? Whatever challenge I'm having, what did I do to create this? Sincerely, not from blame and not from anger and but from sincerity. How you're looking at the math and you're going, how did it get here? Because when you do that, you'll begin to seek solutions. You'll begin to see, oh, my behavior did this. Oh, it was because I was eating too much of this, or I wasn't going to bed early enough, or I wasn't asking the right questions, or I was trying to be too controlling, or I was trusting that other people were going to have my best interest at heart, and I didn't take responsibility myself. You know what I mean? Like, you'll start to see it when you ask the questions. And because the moon is in Scorpio, the shadow is more available. So I'm asking you to ask a shadow question. How did I create this? And if you're willing to see it, and if you can't see it, just say, I'm willing to see it. Reveal yourself to me. And it'll reveal it to you. It will reveal it to you. For the last year or so, I just have been feeling so stuck, and I couldn't get clear how and why, what it was. I couldn't get clear. I kept asking. And my money was slowing down. I'm like, what is happening? Why is this happening? And turned out that it was a family karmic pattern. I was raised by a grandmother who was depressed, and she was a pack rat. And she never really taught me how to do deep cleaning. And my gut, like, I was constipated, and I just saw, like, I'm stuck. And I said to a friend of mine, we were like, let's hang out. And I was like, I don't really feel like comfortable having anybody in my house. My house is a mess. I can't really clean it right. I can't. And they were like, I'll help you. And when they came over and started cleaning my kitchen, my constipation moved. I literally was like, oh, my energy field is connected to my body. And this is the body that grew up in a house of a woman who was deeply depressed, who was my grandmother was deeply depressed because her children were suffering, and she couldn't move her energy. She was sad. She was relying on Jesus. And, I'm grateful she had Jesus, but that Christian teaching didn't give us the tools to really go deeper into who we were. You just, in the by and by, and one day in the by and by. So she really wasn't doing the deep work to heal herself deeply. So I inherited that. I inherited my grandmother's sorrow. I inherited her sorrow. And it started, and I'm about the age now that my grandmother was when I moved in with her. And so now it's starting to surface, and I'm feeling very stuck. And I just started sitting with it and going, what is this? It's an entity. It's a spirit. It's a spirit of sorrow, and it's starting to come out of my system. And now I'm healing it and cleaning it and loving myself, and my body is shifting. But it was time now. It was time now. So here's how we do this work. Here's how we heal these deep patterns. The South Node is moving through Virgo. We're going to heal our bodies. We're going to get critical about what's happening. And the North Node moving through Pisces, we're going to open up into our inspiration, our intuition. But you got to do that deep cleaning first before that other thing opens up. One balances the other. All right, you all. I'm very grateful. So thank you so much. And what a time to be alive. What an incredible time to be alive. Okay, I do want to say this before I go. The sun in Aquarius means that we are breaking the patterns from our maternal lineage. Because the mother holds the memory. The maternal lineage holds the memory. Mother, matter. When your mother makes you in her body, she makes matter in her body, and she gives you all the codes of her lineage in your body. And then she gives birth to you, and you become the computer that you become her on some level, right? But Aquarius says we get to break free from it. We get to rebel. We get to recode ourselves. So while we're in Aquarius, we want to break free from those maternal patterns of sadness, depression, fear, helplessness, right? Lord, she said, Lord, yes. I can tell the left side of my body has been doing like, that's right. So that's what we're working on all month. So set an intention, get your journal, and we're going to be working on freeing ourselves from those patterns. And who you can become after that is unlimited. And it's subtle. It's subtle if you do the work. If you don't do the work, it becomes hard and rigorous. And then you start getting sick and your life starts falling apart. But if you walk into this open-hearted, like, okay, what we got, what we doing, and you can be scared. You can be like trembling. Okay, that's okay too. You know what I mean? But I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to do it trembling. I'm going to do it on my knees if I got to, but I'm going to do it. There ain't nothing going to stop me, because that's the nature of Aquarius. You're going to the future. You don't know. It's uncertain, but I'm alive, right? I'm breathing. I'm here. One time my son, he's an Aquarius, and when he was really little, I used to take him to surf lessons. And the first time I took him, because I really wanted him not to be afraid of the ocean. I really wanted him to be able to have command of reality. And so I started taking him. The Spirit told me to take him to have him surf. And so I took him, and the first day when he came back the next day after surfing, he was tiny. He was a little boy, 5 or 6 years old. And he couldn't walk. His feet, like he literally couldn't stand on his feet. And so I called the surf people, and I was like, he can't walk. What's wrong? And they were like, when you walk on sand, you use different muscles than when you're walking on the earth. So muscles are tender that he hasn't used before. They were like, you can keep him home or you can bring him back and make him move through it. And so I brought him back, and it was like a half a mile from the parking space, walking through the sand to where the camp was. And I sat him on the sand, and I said, and he couldn't walk because his feet were hurting. And I sat him on the sand, and I said, you see where the camp is? Well, there was I was like, you got to get yourself over there. I can't carry you. But however you can do it. You can either walk or you can. And he looked over there, and he looked at me, and he turned around and started crawling. And he crawled all the way there. I walked with him while he crawled because I needed him to discover that he can do it. It doesn't matter if you can't walk, you can crawl. It doesn't matter if you can't, you can do, right? And he crawled all the way there, and he was there for 4 hours. And when I came and picked him up, he was running again because his muscles had made the adjustment, and because I didn't fucking baby him. I didn't go, and carry him or whatever. I was like, you got this. You got this. You gonna figure it out. And I left his ass on that sand, and he crawled, and I walked. And when he got there, I turned around and walked away and went back to my car. And when I came back, he was new. We have to treat ourselves like that. We have to put ourselves in uncomfortable positions and give ourselves the opportunity to figure shit out. Because you can. Because you can. You can and you will. And you will figure it out in a different way than your mother. That's the thing. To do the thing that your mother couldn't do. To push yourself beyond your mother's capacity. The maternal lineage's capacity. This is how we get to the future. It comes from inside of us. It doesn't come from external. The external is the past, y'all. The external is the past. The future is inside of you. And you have to break free from the past. And we do it in consciousness. All right. I love y'all so much. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Bella aligned. That's beautiful. Thank you. Okay, you all. Peace and blessings. Have a really beautiful day. If you want the Amazon list for the things that we're using, because we're doing body work in this today, I just don't have a lot of time, so I'm not doing any body work because I have a client in a few minutes, and then I have a doctor's appointment because I got to go get an adjustment because the energy is starting to really come out of my body, and I'm having to really. It's the inner, like, it's, I don't know what to call it. Let's say it that way. I don't know what to call it, but I'm having this energy and my consciousness is clearing up and I need a chiropractic adjustment so that my body can feel aligned. Okay. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.